Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now sounding different. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour
Baseball.
one.
I'm Lisa. This is my brother Anthony. And I think we have, maybe, perhaps, I'm not convinced yet, but it could be the best show ever. The best episode
She's not
of the best show
convinced,
ever.
but yes, 100%. I think this is the best show we've ever had. We looked at what we have lined up today, and I think I say it unequivocally. That's my go-to word. Best show we've ever had. 100%. Looking at it right now. Can't wait to do it for the people that are waiting every week for our show. I can't wait.
We love them. We're here for you. Thank
Chomping
you
at
for
the
being
bits.
with us.
Chomping at the bits.
Thank you for being here with us every week. We appreciate it.
All right.
If you are not yet subscribed and you've been waiting for this on this beautiful Monday evening, subscribe, leave a comment, do all the things you're supposed to do. You know the drill by now. You've been on YouTube before.
All right. You want to get into what happened last week around the world of baseball?
Let's do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. We had Dylan Cease throwing a no-hitter last week. That was pretty cool. He didn't get taken out. He got 115
that was like
pitches.
the second in that franchise history, right? It's like been
The other one was
long,
Joe
long time.
Musgrove, who also
I don't
threw.
even know who that is.
Shiny ear guy from the playoffs against the Mets. Cool dude. I like Joe Musgrove. All right, well, let's see. The Tigers and Guardians split. The Rays, despite trading away every player that they ever owned, continuing to win. They're continuing to win baseball games. Maybe the most average team in the world just had to get rid of all their stars. Quote unquote stars, like their stars, and then they'll
really lean into the being average part.
Yeah, and then they'll win. The Angels sweeping the Mariners. The White Sox are again on another 14-game losing streak. So I should have started betting money on them again.
I've been.
You have?
I took your strategy, and I've been betting $1 that they lose, and I am up.
How many games have you been doing that for?
Like 5 or 6 games.
Oh my gosh! Do you have enough to buy the White Sox now?
I might actually, although I think it would still be a bad deal.
Collectively, I feel like if White Sox fans all bet money on them to lose every game, they would have enough money to buy that team from their owner.
I think you might have said it in another, or maybe I said it. I don't know. We'll have to play that quote game again. But if this is the White Sox trying to get Chicago out of this awful inflation we're in, then I think that they're doing the Lord's work, honestly. I'm so here for this team. I like them anyway, but if that's their strategy, we're all just supposed to bet on them losing because we know it's going to happen, then, they're heroes.
They're taking one for the team, literally.
100%.
Literally.
Yeah.
Oakland beat the A's. The Reds beat the Braves, which is... I feel like the Braves and Dodgers they're good, but I don't know. I guess it's just I don't ever expect them to lose a series, and then when I see them lose a series, they're like, oh.
Yeah, I would never bet. I don't actually mean this money-wise, although we were just talking about betting, but I would actually never take a bet on the Braves or the Dodgers because you just don't know. I feel like, yes, they're good, but they're also very unpredictable. They'll lose a game that you would never to the Nationals, and you're like, what are you guys doing?
I'm going to skip Cardinals and Pirates and now just talk about the Dodgers since we're talking about them. They beat the Giants, and you're mentioning them with the Braves, and also I did too. I feel like you always say the Dodgers are going to miss the playoffs, or you want them to because of chaos. And yes. I don't think that, obviously, I think in your heart, that's not going to happen.
No. To be clear, if you're new here, I think the Dodgers are going to make the playoffs, but I just think it would be for the lulz, it would be funny if they didn't make the playoffs.
Everyone wants to see Shohei in the playoffs.
I know, but after having this insane lineup and also now Shohei, it'd be really funny. It'd be funny.
What I was saying, though, at least, I just don't think they're going to win it all. They have to win it all with the team that they built, and I don't know if they're going to.
No, I do not think they will.
But they're making moves.
They will obviously get to the playoffs, but I do not think they will win the World Series.
They're making moves right now in the trade deadline, which is tomorrow at 6 o'clock. But let's keep going. So we got Cardinals and Pirates. The Pirates are a team that I'm like, hey, watch out for Pittsburgh. I've been on the Cardinals bandwagon for a while, but watch out for Pittsburgh. Little late season push, especially with the trade deadline.
I'm not convinced. I think I wanted more for them at the beginning, and I feel like at this point, I don't know.
Brewers beat the Cubs, who went out and got Rays All-Star Isaac Paredes, shipped out Chris Morel. The Mets sweeping the Yankees.
Yeah. There's your Subway Series, sneak peek for next year's rivalry week. Yeah.
I saw a lot of jokes about Garrett Cole, in a dugout, like his mouth was and then here it was, OMG. So it's like, oh my God. He was like, and I don't know if you can see the letters. I'm like trying to show letters, but that was
No,
funny.
I get you.
It was like someone on another team that the Mets were beating, like, and like it would say like OMG out of his. I was like, oh my God.
I
Todo
hate
malo,
that song more and
something
more
pa'
every
allá.
day.
All right. Orioles handle business against the Marlins. The Rockies or the Red Sox fell victim to the Rockies at home. So
At home.
they might
At
be.
home. Every time I'm right, when I see them lit up on the right side of the screen, I'm like, they take another victim.
Are the Diamondbacks back? Are the Diamondbacks? Are the Diamondbacks back? They are. They beat the Royals. Let's see where they are in the standings right now.
They're one of those teams that, yeah.
Hey, 4
I don't
games
think
above
you can
500.
ever count them out.
4 games above 500. I think they're streaky, and if they get on a streak, they could sneak their way into the wild card. They're a half game behind the Mets right now.
Right.
And we're in the last stretch of the season. I mean, we got 2 months to go after this week. We are in the home stretch. We've been saying this whole time that there's still a lot of baseball to be played. It's starting to get to the point where that ain't the case. That is not the case. So I think Lisa had the idea about I guess I don't know how to put it, but what were you saying? We should go through the standings to like show each team and start paying attention to the standings. And I was like, no, too early. Too early.
But not yet. I think not.
It's
I
getting
even
close.
think it's not yet, just now, but it is getting close to when we actually need to start paying attention to what, being a few games back when you've got like an entire year in front of you or an entire season is not that big a deal. Being a few games back when you've only got a couple months left.
Yep.
I mean,
I think we need to start paying attention
to.
So maybe next show we start looking at the standings instead of doing the weekly recap model.
Yeah, I think that would work.
Padres sweeping the Nationals. I think that kind of rounds out most of that. Oh, Twins beating the Phillies. Pretty interesting. Let's see what happened over the weekend. We had the Padres beating the Orioles. So are the Padres starting to heat up? Let's see where they are in the division. They are only 6.5 back from the Dodgers. And we'll see. They're going to be playing the Dodgers this week, so that'll be a big series. The Blue Jays swept the Rangers. Houston beat Los Angeles. There was a walk-off in that series, I believe, if I'm not crazy.
It's great for Houston, especially coming off losing to like the A's. Then you have the Dodgers come over and you're able to beat them. I mean, not a bad look
Series
for
rematch there as well.
Yeah.
From 2017, and now they're tied with the Mariners. Mets and Braves split. The A's go ahead and I think they won 3 out of 4 against the Angels. I think that was a 4-game series. Marlins beat the Brewers. Rays beat the Mets. Again, trade everyone you have. Doesn't matter. Very Rays type thing to do, to just trade everyone and then continue to win awkwardly. The Mariners, after getting swept, they sweep the only team in baseball that can't win, of course. So they sweep the White Sox. The Nationals beat the Cardinals in a series. Are the Cardinals starting to slow down? Let me see what they are in there. Yeah, they're 4-6 in their last 10. 6 games back from the Brewers. And they are not in a wild card spot. The Cardinals are a game out of the wild card. So I think that National League wild card is going to be interesting. The Guardians and Phillies. Guardians beat the Phillies. Are the Phillies starting to waver? Are the Braves going to catch up to Philadelphia? Who knows? Again, I think we should start looking at. No, they're 8.5 back. They got some breathing room. But the Phillies 3-7 in their last 10.
Next week we will focus on the standings. I promise.
Yeah, Phillies. They're 3-7 in their last 10. The Giants went to Colorado and they did not fall victim to being at Colorado. They swept Colorado.
No, I mean, so here's the thing though about the Denver thing. They still only win half the time in Denver. So, like, it's not a foolproof thing. It's just that they're not as bad as they are on the road.
Where it stands right now, they are 14-40 on the road, and they are 24-29 at home. So, yeah, they're about – but they win a lot more.
It's been that way it's been that way all season. They've been, like, basically 50% of the time they win at home. Every other time they're going to lose, basically.
The Cubs beat the Royals, which I feel like the Royals have not won many series as of late, but maybe I'm crazy. No. Cubs beat them. Pirates lose to the Diamondbacks, because they're back. All right, the Yankees also take a series from the Red Sox, and the Twins beat the Tigers. And that's my roundup for the week.
Okay.
Now, let's talk about the trade deadline, because the trade deadline is starting to get underway. The deadline is tomorrow at 6 p.m., and a lot has happened already. The Rays did not wait. Usually teams wait till like an hour before.
Minute.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They're procrastinators, just like I was in school, and they don't like to turn in their work until the very last minute.
I think they're just trying to make sure they get the best negotiation, but sure.
Maybe. I wouldn't know about that. But the Rays they don't wait. They're off to a busy start. They traded away Randy. They traded away Isaac Paredes, and they traded away Zach Eflin. I think they just dished out Ahmed Rosario, who's a player. So they're essentially cleaning house.
Oh, they did. So who are they picking up for these people? Or are they just trading them at this point for the money?
They're
to,
doing
clear up
like
some money?
roster. It's a little bit of money, but it's also like this is what the Rays
Okay.
do. They trade away their good guys and they replenish and get some dogs in the minor leagues, guys you've probably never heard of, but then the Rays want them for a reason and they turn into studs. Like nobody wanted Randy Arozarena, and then we got him and he turned into Randy Arozarena. Nobody wanted Yandy Diaz, and then we got him. Nobody wanted we got Tyler Glasnow from the Pirates. Shane McClanahan was drafted, but Austin Meadows at one point. Like the Rays trade away guys. And then when they usually get traded away, they're not that good anymore. And then we get guys back that no one's ever heard of, and we turn them into, good players. And then we trade them again. It's just a cycle. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
So that
How does
cycle.
that feel?
Are you
for
okay with like teams trading away? I mean, I guess you just asked me how I feel as a Rays fan.
Yeah.
All right. So Randy, everyone's favorite player on the team. I don't know if I'm just numb to it because I'm a Rays fan, so I'm used to it. But like he got traded, I was like, eh. Like when you see Evan, like
That's kind of wild.
Maybe
Even
I'm just.
I was like, Randy?
Maybe I'm
Wow.
just. I saw it coming. But maybe it's because I'm just a seasoned veteran when it comes to being a Rays fan.
You're bitter. You're bitter now.
I saw KK leave. I saw the GOAT Evan Longoria leave. When Longo leaves, come on. And you also have to put it in the scope of Tampa Bay sports in general right now. We just saw
Yeah.
Steven Stamkos leave, who is our Wayne Gretzky for our hockey team, the Tampa Bay Lightning. So when you compare Randy, and I love Randy, but Steven Stamkos is our Tom Brady. He leaves, and then now Randy leaves. It's kind of like, man, at least we have Mike Evans on the Bucks. But how do you feel about teams trading away their star players, but like continuing to be relevant because of it? Is that a bad thing for the fans, baseball, or should you not care as long as you continue to win?
I mean, I think there's a lot that goes into this, right? I think there are certain players that are just like cornerstone franchise players that when you get rid of them, it's not, I mean, it's like earth-shattering. Stamkos would be one for the Lightning if we're talking about hockey. To me, in my head, losing someone like Judge for the Yankees would be like huge because
Imagine if the Yankees
become
traded
your
Jeter.
Right. It like they
crazy.
kind of become your franchise. I don't think that Randy was at that point. I think he was a entity unto his own. Some players become part of the team, like literally are the team, and then some players just kind of remain their own. So I think it depends on the level. I think it depends on where you're at. I think it also depends, do you actually continue to be good? So if you trade three of your good play. I mean, nobody cared about of the guys you mentioned, Paredes, Eflin, Arozarena. Like the people only care about Randy. I feel
That's
like he
not
is the crowd.
true. People like Isaac Paredes. He was our only All-Star this year.
But casual people
Sure.
know Randy.
Sure.
He is like
It's like Randy and Yandy for the
he's
Rays.
a personality.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And so if you trade him and you actually are good, then great. If you trade him and nothing comes of it, that kind of sucks.
Maybe I'm a little crazy, but I don't think that this behavior is only for the Rays. Like the Rays aren't the only team to do this. This is what is.
I'm sure they're not.
I see national media all the time talking about how the Rays are bad for baseball because they always do this.
I do think they do it more often.
Maybe. I just think they're
I
better
think
at
they
it
do.
than other teams. I think other teams do it, but the Rays are better at it.
Okay, not to be that person, but like, are they legitimately better at it?
Yes,
they're
they're
not-
consistently in the playoffs every year, which is more than what other teams can say. And I think since like 2008, they're like top 5 winning percentage in the entire major leagues. So yeah, I would say they're pretty good at it. And whether or not it's like the cake tastes good, it's just whether or not you like the ingredients of the cake. Like maybe they're just putting the most unhealthy stuff in that cake, but it still provides results.
I think it's more like the cake is pretty. I don't know what's in it because we haven't eaten it yet. Like that's what I would say about the Rays. Like the cake is always, it looks good. I don't know what's in it. I don't know what's in because I haven't cut into it yet because they haven't gone all. That's what a taste of have your cake and eat it too would be when you actually win the World Series. So the cake just looks
The
pretty.
World Series is so hard to win. Okay, only one team wins it every year. The Yankees
I get,
have a totally opposite
wait,
approach, and they haven't won one in
only
a long time
one,
either.
only one
Believe it
team
or not.
every year.
Believe it or not. Yeah, that's why it's so hard.
What game am I watching?
It's hard. It's hard to win. I'm serious. One team a year.
I'm not saying it's not. I'm not saying it's
Like
not.
the Yankees have a completely different approach, and how many World Series have they won since 2009?
If the Yankees got rid of Jeter or Judge or any of these guys that end up becoming their franchise player, and they win a World Series the next, like within
They would
that
never
time
do
frame,
that though.
no, but listen, hear me out. If they did and then they won, then I feel like people would be like, God, I hate that we missed that guy, but at least we won. But if you did and then you lost,
Yeah.
people would just be extra mad. That's all I'm saying.
No, yeah,
And
yeah.
so then
100%.
if you now again, granted, none of these players necessarily rise to the occasion of being, I think, Rays franchise players, but it would make everything a little bit less bitter, maybe more bittersweet if you actually like won a World Series.
I also want to give the Rays some credit because people say, oh, they don't spend money. They don't keep core players. They've had like a decent core for like 5-6 years-ish. They've had a decent core. When you talk about Yandy Diaz, Randy was
And I think
even
that's
here
part
since
of it, too.
2020. And now we're in 2024. Like, it's been 4 years. Like,
Yeah, well, I think that's
also,
part of it too.
they spent
you don't get a
they spent a ton of money on Yandy Diaz. Or not ton, but they spent money on Yandy Diaz. They spent money on Pete Fairbanks. They already traded a guy away to what's his name? The relief pitcher from Houston that they got. I think they gave to Philadelphia. God, his name is escaping me right now. But they spent money, like the most money they ever spent on a reliever. They spent on him. They gave a ton of money to their star shortstop, Wander Franco, who decided to go touch little kids. Like, they can't control that, right? But, I mean, they've spent money, and they've had a core player. It's just now, you look at the division, the Yankees they got Soto, and the Yankees are just always going to be there. The Red Sox aren't a bad team. The Blue Jays look like they're in a carnival. They don't know what's going on over there. But at least, and the Orioles are going to be good, at least it looks like, for a pretty long time. So you look at your state of your team, who you have, and you're probably thinking, all right, we might have to rebuild. And the way the Rays rebuild, it's not like how the White Sox rebuild. So they don't just suck complete balls for 5 years and then try to be good. Like, at least they're competitive for, they're a very average team for a few years. And then they become really good again like they were in past years. I don't know what to feel about it. I think that's why I say I'm numb. I'm just there. I'm just a Rays fan. I'm just a constant state of this.
makes sense. Yeah.
I bet you as like I guess you're not a Rays fan, but you root for. I think there's a small piece in your heart that roots for them, and I think you're
I told
upset
you
to
how
see
I felt.
this.
Randy is the only one that I really cared about leaving because when I go, I enjoy watching him and I like his personality. And I think
Great dude.
yeah, he's fun to. I enjoy sitting behind him in left fields
And watching him, weirdo.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
I know.
All the fans get very excited for him, and he always interacts with fans. Like he's a fun guy to watch. So the Mariners got a really great pick, I think, with him, and I hope that they go far, which they have the potential to do. So
The Mariners.
do you want to talk about
The Mariners
couple
also
other
got
trades?
the Mariners also got Justin Turner as well. So they're making a push. They're trying to see if they can get back. The Mariners have a really good pitching staff and terrible offense. So they get Justin Turner now. They get Randy Arozarena. So they're trying to get a little bit of a push for that offense.
So let's talk first about. I mean, did you want to go through? You had a couple other.
Yeah, I'm about to right now. So the Yankees also got Jazz Chisholm from the Marlins, who, by the way, I just saw before we started the show. He already hit his first home run against I think he's in Philadelphia.
I saw the app that is constantly haunting me. Let me know while we were on recording.
A lot of people on the interwebs, that are out there. They could be real. They could be fake. We don't know because they're
Where are
behind
they?
the screen. They're behind the screen.
I'm here. Are they here?
Are we
they
real?
now?
We're behind the internet. Are we real?
Yeah. Where are they? I didn't ask them to be here.
A lot of people on the interwebs, and they're surrounding us right now because we are currently on the interwebs.
Oh my god.
We are on the line. These people are saying, oh, Jazz Chisholm, he's too swaggy for the Yankees. He's, George Steinbrenner's turning over in his grave because, Jazz Chisholm's, he's a little swaggy. He Euro steps when he hits a home run. He's a, colorful character. You think he's not going to mesh well with the Yankees?
No, I think
Yankee
he'll be
expert.
I think he'll be not an expert. I think he'll be fine. I think it's it's hard because I'm looking at our notes and I know that in a few questions you're going to ask me which teams will benefit the most, and I don't want to jump the shark. I want to get there when we get there. But I think like you said with the Mariners, the Yankees are doing a push. They probably see Jazz as something that they might need to get out of this funk that they're in and maybe re-energize them like they had at the beginning of the season. No, I do not think that his swag is going to be an issue for the Yankees. I think the Yankees have had other swaggy people in the past. Now, I find I find him to potentially be a little annoying. But frankly, I
Fair.
could say that about the Yankees right now.
And listen,
okay? I'm annoyed. So
you mentioned they had flashy players in the past. Well, one is, I mean, or like colorful guys in the past. One is Marcus Stroman. He's on the team right now. Let's not
Right.
like Juan Soto is a Derek Jeter like
I
figure.
was gonna say Juan Soto had like we remember Juan Soto's like preseason workout videos, right? I mean, what are we talking
AI
about?
Soto, and let's not pretend Juan
on.
Soto doesn't like literally when he takes a pitch, jump at the pitcher and grab his crotch, and it, like okay, that's not very Jeter-esque. That's not but he's still a Yankee.
Right.
And also, let's not forget you talk about players in the past who are stars, and who's probably the most flashiest athlete of all time who I love and might annoy you a little bit.
Prime time.
He played on the Yankees. So let's not act like the Yankees, like Jazz Chisholm. Like,
No, that's
come
what
on.
I'm saying. We're not above this. You know what?
Yeah.
What we are above right now apparently is winning. That's what we seem to be above because we don't do it. So I think we should just like humble ourselves a little bit as a fan base and maybe as a franchise, figure our stuff out and let's go put all these guys together and win a game. I feel like I don't know if that's occurred to anyone, but if you're listening right now, Yankees people, I'm giving you permission to do that. You should just go do that.
I also want to mention for my sister and the people in the interwebs that are around us on the line, the Yankees are like in the last 2 months, they are below 500 for the last 2 months, but still, even with that, they are 62 and 45, a
I was gonna say,
579 win
they're still,
percentage, and
like,
only a game and a
kind
half
of-
out.
They're still over like 500
Yes.
generally in the
No,
season.
by a
But I
lot,
think-
by a lot.
So let's keep moving then. So
Yes.
Tommy Pham goes to the Cardinals.
Mhm.
I'm excited for that because I have recently become a Tommy Pham fan.
We called
I'm-
it too. We were like, they're gonna trade.
I'm
him. They're gonna
part
trade him.
of the Pham. Does he have that?
The
yeah,
Pham?
If not, call me, send me a check. You can use it.
The fam. Let's get a T-shirt.
So I'm excited. I'm excited to see him not be on the White Sox. I'm sorry to White Sox fans. Another blow for you, but happy for Tommy.
I think there's a lot of people in the fam, and we're both one of them. And I think Tommy Pham is also in his own fam, and I think he's happy
Oh.
to be off the White Sox.
Tommy is the mayor Pham, and I'm sure he's very happy to be going to St. Louis.
Tommy Pham is in St. Louis, where I believe it all started for him. I think he started in St. Louis. At least the Rays got him from St. Louis. I know that. And again, another guy who the Rays got and was pretty damn good for the Rays. See a trend here. Also, I guess rank this deadline. I was thinking about the deadline. I feel like, and I don't know if I'm biased because I'm a Rays fan, but I feel like a lot has happened pretty early, and we're not even at the final hour yet. So, where would you rank it 1 to 5 stars so far? What's the vibe for this deadline right now?
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, I think that while it feels like a lot has moved already, I think if anything major is gonna happen, it's gonna happen tomorrow, very close to the actual deadline, right? Which is what we usually see happen. So no surprise. I'm not, being Nostradamus here. So it's hard for me to say. I mean, it does feel like things have moved, but at the same time, it doesn't necessarily feel like there's been any like large surprise or any
blockbuster yet.
huge, no big, huge moves, no stars that are really moving. I mean, I think of all the guys we've named so far, Arozarena is probably the closest, and I think that's really our bias, just being in the Tampa area.
I think that's fair though, because the Rays, the Rays had some good guys on their team, and they have literally like it's just
like you said, Paredes is an all-star, and he is leaving. So
yeah, and it's funny, Paredes, if you know anything about Paredes, he cannot hit the ball out of the ballpark anywhere except for left field. And when he was leaving the Rays, like Tropicana Field, his last picture he posted on his Instagram, like, I'm gonna miss you left field. So like he can only hit the ball out that way, so he's gonna miss it. And I believe Paredes is going to Chicago, which is a pretty deep park out there. But I mean, he's got some pop, so he'll be able to do it.
I think he is. I think.
And the Rays got Morel back, who's a fun player to watch, and Christopher Morel and Jose Siri together on the same team might be the most fun duo in baseball to watch. and probably the most aggravating for old baseball heads who hate Jazz Chisholm on the Yankee. Like the interweb people, they might hate that.
But are they the best brother sister duo in baseball?
No,
I don't
no,
think
no,
so.
no, no, because they're both, they might be
So
best brothers if that was the thing.
so who do you think at this point? I mean, I've got my ideas, but at this point,
Mm-hmm.
the deadline is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Has any team so far stood out to you as being like they've won the deadline so far, or is
Not
there one that
yet,
you're waiting to see
but
what they're gonna do?
yeah, if I think the team that could benefit the most if they make some key additions within the next like 12 hours, 48 hours, 24 hours, less than that now. I would say the Pirates, I think, are on my radar. Like if they're in a position, they're 2 games back of the wild card. If they want to, they can start adding some pieces. I believe they might have added some already. But if they go out and get some more pop, they need a little bit of pop. I mean, you got Paul Skeens, maybe a little bullpen arm too. Everyone wants some bullpen pieces at this point in the season. You can always use another arm. I think Pittsburgh, for me, is one team that could get some juice. And again, the either the Red Sox or the Mariners too. If they could go out and grab a guy and kind of give their team a jolt. Like the Mariners could catch up to Houston, and then the Red Sox could get into the wild card or maybe even past New York if they continue to scuffle. So that would be my teams.
Yeah. I mean, I was thinking the same thing for the Mariners. I was actually sad to see Randy go, happy for the Mariners because I think picking up some key players right now is going to be great for them having like a midseason push trying to get away from the Astros. I mean, they've let that lead they've squandered the lead basically. So I think this is a chance for them to really pull it out. I think the Cardinals were another one that I was thinking, they've been behind the Brewers pretty much this entire season so far, but they're not that far behind. So they could absolutely come in and take the Brewers out. I don't know. I don't see it for Pittsburgh, to be honest with you, which I know Pittsburgh's only
They got
one
Livy
game
Dunn,
further
baby.
behind.
They got
So,
Livy
like,
Dunn. Anything's possible.
right.
Paul Skeens
And then I
Livy.
also thought, when we started this season, we talked a lot about the Pirates Dodgers and what was going to happen in the NL West. I thought that, the Padres made a
Yeah.
big move
Sorry.
picking up someone right before the beginning of the season. Right now would be a great time for them to kind of do that again, reinvigorate themselves and see if they can shorten that gap between them and the Dodgers too.
Only 6.5 with 2 months left to play. I mean, it's possible. Now, it's the Dodgers, though, so how possible is it really? But it's possible.
No, and I was thinking the Yankees too. Like the Yankees need something to kick them in the butt right now and wake them up. But I'm curious if we'll see anything come out of the Braves because I feel like the Braves have been very touch and go, and
They have a lot of injuries right now. They have a lot of
do.
injuries. Ozzy Albies
Right.
is out. I think Sean
Acuna's been
Sean
out.
Murphy's out. Acuna's out. I
Yeah.
think Max Fried's out. And Strider, obviously. So they got a lot of injuries.
So I feel like they could pick up some people to increase their depth right now, and that would really help them moving into postseason, which I think they will still very well could be in it.
What some teams try to do is they try to change the culture of their team during a trade deadline. Maybe get some guy in there who's going to give them a jump start. What other guy could give you a jump start than someone who takes a fastball off the nose and stays in the game for 9 innings catching? Did you see what happened to James McCann today, who won the Tough Guy Award in the MLB?
I did not. I'm looking at it now,
Yeah.
and my jaw is dropped.
He takes a 95-mile-an-hour fastball, which, by the way, 95 it probably hurts a little bit if you get hit in like the arm or the
Is
back.
he okay? Like, does he have a concussion? Is he all right? Did someone check?
Lisa, these are questions you do not ask James McCann, okay? Because what he's going to tell you is, I'm good, coach. Get me in there. He had blood coming out of his nose like a scene from The Gladiator, okay? Like, this looks like who's the director that, is it Tarantino? That, like, you stub your toe and then blood gushes all over the screen. That he loves putting gory
maybe.
stuff. Who is it, the director that does that? It's Tarantino.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay,
It's
yeah.
quite Tarantino.
That's James McCann. Blood everywhere, all over his jersey. At one point, he walks off the field. People think he's getting taken out of the game because, he just got hit by a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. No, he wasn't getting out of the game. He just went to go swap his jersey for one that didn't have blood
I was
on
just
it.
gonna ask. I would have worn the bloody one because I think I would have been if I was playing against him. I would have been terrified. I'd be like,
There's a
"Don't
video.
come near that man."
There's a video of or like a classic image for Florida Gators, which I'm probably sure you've seen, but of Tim Tebow with like stuff all over his jersey and it looks like blood. It's just orange paint from the end zone. James McCann could have had the blood all over his jersey playing baseball, which would have been the most ultimate picture.
Iconic, truly.
Like anything black. Like I know, and I knew this was right up your alley in the notes. I put, does baseball need more blood? And I was like, Lisa, probably. I know this is right up her alley.
We
she
do.
wants like
maybe not like
violence.
this. I feel very bad for him. I hope he's okay.
Why? You shouldn't feel bad for him. I think he enjoyed it, honestly. Did you see the images after the game of them interviewing him? And he has like two looks like tampons in his nose and bloody and a black eye.
He looks
smiling.
But you know what? I've never seen a more attractive man than this one on screen right now.
Oh bullshit! If this guy comes up to you outside of a bar, you're running away.
Well, does he have the tampons in his nose?
Yes,
at
100.
that point?
Yes, 100%.
Okay, and am I aware that he got them at a baseball game, or is he just coming up to me?
He's wearing the eye black, so you can kind of assume that, but you're not 100% sure.
And is he? Well, wait. Does he have anything like Orioles on that I could?
He has he's still
wearing the bloody jersey.
He's wearing his baseball pants.
I would probably. I'd have questions. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
are you sticking around?
I wouldn't know where it was going, but I would have to ask this man some questions if he came up.
Not to bring everything to a SpongeBob reference, but yeah, he's definitely going to the the salty Splatoon, whatever the tough one is.
Yeah. No, I mean, wow, that is wild. He took the words out of my mouth. I hope, like I said, that he is okay. I did say I wanted blood in baseball, but not potentially life endangering blood. No.
Look at him. He was fine. Just remember that when your kid in Little League like slides and hurts himself sliding, tell him to McCann up instead of man up. McCann up. Be a McCann up.
Yeah, I like that. I just remember that when your Little League kid wants like an oven mitt for sliding, I'd be like, cool. Buddy, get in there and break your fingers. What are you talking about?
Did you see James McCann?
Man.
He was blowing blood out of his nose. McCann up, bud. McCann up.
McCann up, brother. Come on.
All right, let's go to some international news. The Olympics are on right now. And I was watching the Olympics, and the first thing I saw was the boat ceremony. We don't have to talk about what happened in the boats before the boat ceremony. We can leave that off. I don't want to talk about that all nasty.
No.
I don't think. Yeah,
let's
whatever.
not.
But LeBron James leading the Americans on that boat, and someone said it looks similar to George Washington crossing the Delaware. And I was like, dude, we need Bryce Harper out there or Mike Trout out there with the flag. And I said, well, wait, why isn't baseball in the Olympics? And apparently it's coming in next year for the Olympics. And then I started thinking, well, it's during the summer. I don't know if you're aware of this, but the Major League season's also during the summer. I put two and two together as the smart, intuitive man that I am. And I said, well, would I even care about baseball being in the Olympics compared to like the WBC when we have our stars in it?
You won't, and that's why they took it out.
I think I might care a little bit because it's still because it's still USA baseball. It's still cool, but not as much as the WBC in my opinion. Like I would care because it's USA baseball, but I would not care as much. It would just be a bunch of college kids and
I was gonna say it's gonna end up being a bunch of guys who aren't at major league level, and they're gonna be playing against guys who, in certain countries might be close to major league level, and so
maybe not. I mean, anyone who's close to major league level is playing in the AAA in America, so.
I guess, but like I could see like Dominican, Korea, Japan, maybe Puerto Rico having
former big league players,
yeah, strong teams. And it's going to be, for us, a bunch of guys who are there from, like, probably college and maybe whatever else because the pro guys can't go. This has been talked about before when it comes to baseball in the Olympics. They took baseball out because, is my understanding, feel free anyone to fact check me, but I thought it was because there wasn't enough interest from the countries. Like, they didn't have enough to basically fill out the tournament style that they needed.
I think they should have more now. I guess
they have enough now.
Yeah.
They have enough now to fill that out, and I think softball is coming back as well. I'd actually be more interested probably in softball, only because it is an entirely different game, and we are going to get the best girls that the U.S. has to offer because there's no Major League Softball.
There might be. Yeah. Are we sure there's not? Is that why Jenny Finch is always at the celebrity games?
They need to sincerely work on their marketing then, because I mean I've heard about the WNBA, but I've never heard about.
All right, there is women's professional fast pitch. First season was in 2022, but I have a question or something to ask you with that. But I still think I want to make this remark first before I ask you this question. WBC, in my opinion, always going to be better than Olympic baseball because if they continue to allow the stars, because it happens in the fall, like spring training time, and the players use it as like a more competitive spring training.
Sure.
I think that's always going to be good if they allow the stars. Like anytime you have Shohei Ohtani pitching against Mike Trout, that's going to draw eyes. But I still think it would be dope for like Olympic baseball if you have the stars of collegiate baseball. Like if you have a Jack Caglione out there playing for US, exactly. Like if you have a guy like. There's still some big names, and maybe it'll help grow college baseball if you start learning the names of these guys, and then you go watch them play in college as well. That might help. But
I'm very split on the Olympics because I feel like when I hear about the Olympics, most people at this point are kind of like tepid on it. And
ooh, good word. Spell that. What does that mean?
They are excited about.
Is that the same as timid? We got to pause on that
it's
word.
Like Luke.
Not for me, but for the people watching.
I'm going to start having words of the day, and I'll actually flip over a cue card with the definition. Tepid is like lukewarm. But
how do you spell that? T-E-P-E-D?
Yeah, T-E-P-I-D. Anyway, I think people are mostly lukewarm on the Olympics other than tepid.
Some could say tepid.
You could if you wanted to. Other than for the fan favorites, which would be swimming, gymnastics.
Love swimming. Love Simone Biles. Beach volleyball, baby.
Beach volleyball is a big one. I was actually just talking to friends about it this weekend, and I was like, "Who's watching? What are they watching?"
Oh, I like rowing. I like rowing. I think rowing's pretty cool.
Well, we're competitive apparently now in rowing, but I mean, those are really the three that people watch. So I don't know that baseball being added is necessarily going to like help it too much.
People watch basketball. So I think if baseball's there, you'll get people people who just want to watch it. They'll watch it. Also, if your country's good, you want to watch anything that America is good in. I want to watch.
That is very true. Anything that I know we're gonna get a gold in, that's what I'm watching.
There's
so one, I can also sing the national anthem from home as it goes up, and they cry. And I cry, and it's fun.
Don't want to watch. I know I might get some hate from this from you. They have the equestrian galloping. I forget the word for it, but the cross country, it's not even
country.
Now, if it was racing,
they have equestrian, so they also do I believe they have dressage as well.
That's what it was. Dressage. No to that. Dressage. Yes, that one. I don't like that. Or the one we were watching the other night. That was terrible. But if they had like a Kentucky Derby, like Daytona 500 style horse race. I would tune into that. You get the Kentucky Derby, like a Triple Crown winner racing in that hoe, like American Pharoah. Wait. You put American Pharoah in there.
Hold on.
I'm going to the stadium with a horse head on.
We're gonna take a little bit of a detour here. Sorry guys, this is becoming the equestrian channel for 5 seconds. So there's
it always was secretly.
It actually has been this whole time. We've been waiting for this moment. There's English riding and there's Western riding. English is what they do. Yeah, I know. Is all that stuff. Is cross country, dressage, all that. Western is like rodeo style. So what if they had Western riding with like barrel racing?
Is that where like they release a wild hog and you have to lasso that thing?
There's like cow cutting, which is where they release a calf.
Yeah,
and
you gotta
lasso it. And then the barrel racing is when you have 3 barrels in a triangle, and then you have to you're galloping around and trying to get
I'd be down for that. I need speed. I need
that
power.
Would be way fun.
I need wild. They also do one. I'm pretty sure they do one where you have a gun on the horse and they have targets lined up and you're riding a horse and you have to hit that thing.
That one's cool. Mm-hmm. I like that one.
I think that's too American for the Olympics, though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if the rest of the international community is gonna get down to that.
Like I said, most people ride English, which is the more, as you said, I don't think they are, but as you said, boring ones. The Western riders are the ones that do all the fun.
Clint Eastwood, baby.
Cowboy stuff, yeah.
Hey, the Italians did a lot of spaghetti westerns, so maybe it would be like us in Italy. On like gold, silver.
It would probably be like us and
maybe
Italy,
the Mongolians. I know Mongolians are good with horses.
Yeah, like a random Asian country too that we didn't know that they've been like cowboys, like Kazakhstan.
Mongolia, dude. Genghis Khan.
Iceland could be really good at that too. Potentially,
they don't have horses over there. No, I've never seen an Icelandic horse. Not like American Pharaoh.
I've seen them. They're cute. They're like little ponies.
I had a remark. Okay, I had a question for you because you mentioned
the softball thing.
Softball, yes. Okay, to bring it back towards
baseball,
a stick and ball discussion.
We're getting back. We're getting slowly.
Yeah. this has always been a equestrian channel. Stealing horses, which Lisa has done before.
And I've done that before
Yeah,
too.
she stole a horse. So the NBA sponsors the WNBA almost to a nauseous. I'm almost gonna say nauseatic, but that's not a word. Is it?
Nausea-inducing degree.
Yes, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
But is there a word for
agree.
that?
What I just said.
That's 2 words. Okay, so they've been doing that. The WNBA has been pushed down our throats, and like to a point now, it's kind of cool because Caitlin Clark's doing her thing. The MLB or the NBA has like pretty much not wasted, but they've been running the WNBA at a loss.
No,
subsidizing
they've been wasting
it.
money. They're not making money off of this thing.
No, but that's not waste. Like it's to grow the sport among women. So like they'll see
okay.
profit somewhere else.
Fair.
Should
Fair.
baseball maybe be doing that with softball or maybe a women's baseball league? Like I think you should do it with softball.
No, I mean I think
I think it'd be a cool idea.
don't get me started on bringing back a league of their own game because you know that's what I'm here for. And like
it's been a topic
I
of discussion
agree with you.
before.
I mean, you're right. They're not making a profit off of this, but if it's growing the sport, I think that would be great. And I think like I guess it would depend on how you do it. Softball is a very different sport than baseball, but what you're seeing are some girls now trying to play baseball because there is not really. I mean, apparently there is Major League Softball, but like I just learned that.
I don't think it's
5
very
seconds
well
ago.
known. Yeah.
So like girls are trying. So I think it would give them an avenue, and I don't know. I have nothing wrong. I think it would be good. Now I'd like to see it work out in a fashion where, okay, maybe you're not obviously it might not operate at like a full return, but it's not as bad as
I'll
the
say this,
WNBA.
like I think it's easier for softball to be more entertaining than it is for the WNBA. Because the WNBA wasn't, and this is like, we can move on from this after, but the WNBA wasn't really that interesting until you had a girl like Caitlin Clark out there just shooting threes from half court and drilling them. Softball, all you need is one girl to start hitting bombs like Barry Bonds, and it'll still be pretty interesting. And I think
Well, it
that's easier to
happens.
do than maybe the threes.
Well, and I mean, I've heard men will watch softball. Like,
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
I was gonna say
It's
when there's
faster
no
pace.
baseball on
Yeah.
and then there's softball on, they're like, fine, I'll just put on softball, and it's a different enough game, and they respect the women.
Those
that are
girls throw
playing
hard
it,
too.
so.
It's no sissy stuff. Those
That's what I'm
girls
just
throw
saying.
hard.
Like the guys seem to respect the girls who play it. So I mean, I think what softball gains, and then like you said, we can move on. That's better in their favor than WNBA is that it is a different sport. So with WNBA, I hear people saying like, why would I want to watch? Now we have Caitlin Clark, but before, who did we really have? I'd rather watch LeBron. I think with softball, since it is a completely different sport, people can still be really interested in it, and they don't feel like they're necessarily losing out on anything. It can still have its stars and its powerhouses where maybe there was an unfair comparison to WNBA and NBA before.
You know what time it is?
It's time for fair or foul.
Okay. Trying something new. All right, let's rock. Did you see the first one? I got to turn off all the lights. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You probably had a really good point there, but I was too focused on production.
It's fine.
We need to hire a
I'll just
production guy for a third guy to sit in
talk
the room
to
next to me.
myself like I normally do.
Did you see? Usually we see like Grimace carrying kids off, or like a bunch of drunk adults being
Yeah.
arrested at the games. Fair or foul? We got 2 kids getting arrested, or these might be adults that are really small and kid shaped, but 2 kids getting arrested and handcuffed, drug out by the 12 by the pigs, by the cops.
What for?
Fair or foul? Now I'll tell you after. What do you make of this? Are they kids? Are they adult shaped
Fair.
kids?
No, I have to assume they were doing. I have to assume that these children were up to something.
Oh, you're so
and
bad.
So,
You are Candace from Phineas and Ferb. You are so bad. I say
Fair.
foul. Let
Fair.
the boys be boys.
what were they
Oh.
doing? Then I'll decide.
These kids,
I'm gonna say they were doing like heroin or something. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm glad they left.
yeah, they are pissing on people. No, they
Yeah.
they ran on the field. They were running on the field and
Sorry, buddy. Thumbs the brakes. Do it now before you can go to like adult prison.
I
but-
think it's foul. I think actually, you know what? I think it's fair because that's gonna be a memory and a video that they're gonna have for the rest of their lives, and I think it's pretty sweet. Imagine going to
And
school
when
the
they
next
got
day,
home,
like
if I was their mother when they got home, the talking to would be
Oh, I know their
biblical.
dads were probably about 6
Oh, yeah.
or 12 deep, 6 or 12 or maybe 50 deep, and they're like, "Hey, Johnny, go on the field. It'll be hilarious. Your mom,
I don't know.
your mom will be so mad. Go on the
I
field."
don't know. That would be one where I'd hope that my husband could handle it.
It's probably-
I'd have to
you
be
know
like,
whose
"Your
dad-
father's coming home, and when he hears about this, he's gonna be so."
I bet
You're
their
gonna have to
parents
feel
were
bad.
probably the same guys in New York who had the grimace paint on their bellies.
Good
That's
Lord,
their
I hope
dads.
not. Then that just means that Grimace has an uncanny hold on that family.
One thing I wanted to point out was not the first kid, but look at the second kid. He looks so pissed. Like, bro, what did you
they
expect?
both low key do.
Like, what
and
did you
that's what I'm saying.
expect?
Fair.
What did you expect?
Who do you think you are?
No.
Go to kid jail for a little while, and your mom will pick you up and tell your dad that.
You're saying fair that the
Mess-
cops arrested him. I'm saying fair that the kid.
Yes.
I'm saying fair that the kids did this and that they got arrested.
No,
foul on the cops though.
Children need to find some more respect these days. That's my grandma take.
All right, let's go to the next one. We had some clubhouse shenanigans again in the dugout. Break this down. What's going on there, Lisa? What's going on with that hand? Not Matt Olson.
yeah,
right behind,
hold
right in front of
on.
Matt Olson's face. What's
I'm
going on
doing
with
a
that hand
replay.
right there?
Is he tickling his inner thigh? That's
I think
what it appears
that's
to
the old
be.
double T move right there. The old taint tickle. I say fair. You know, sometimes you see an opportunity right in front of you, and you gotta go for it. Now,
I'm so tired.
the real question
I'm so
is,
tired.
the camera cut away too early. Did he do the taint tickle and gave it one of these out there? You know, I say fair. Foul on the camera guy for cutting away like he just saw murder.
Yeah, I don't like this being on TV. You know, if boys want to do what boys do in the clubhouse, then by all means. But like, did we have to put this on national TV? Like, come on.
I
come
think
on.
baseball
Can we-
players might be the most friendliest of teammates if you're catching my.
Oh, yeah. Just from all the baseball guys I've known, yourself included, yes, I agree with
I
you.
feel like we've had some pretty friendly situations so far this year. We had one dude like twerking in the dugout. We had one dude. Now we have the taint tickle. We had a cup check earlier. I could
Yeah,
probably
yeah,
find some
no,
more. We
it's-
have
it's
Mookie
been
Betts.
a little-
Mookie Betts might be the sauciest player.
Foul. I just need this to stop. I just don't want to see it.
We had
Beagles.
the master batter Shohei Ohtani giving it the old.
I know. I'm done. I don't want
Too
like
mu-
I
too
just want to
much.
watch TV for 5 seconds and not think about the world.
So, not fair. I say fair.
Foul.
All right.
Get out of here.
The last
The
one.
children and this whatever it was can leave.
The last one, we talked about the trade deadline. Well, this was Randy a day after he got traded. I guess Seattle had an off day or something, so he ended up staying in Tampa. And this is him. He pretty much sat in the stands as a regular fan and walked around the stadium pretty much saying goodbye to people. I mean, if you don't know, Randy had his own section in left field every Friday called Randy Land, where people would sit in left field and root him on. And he'd go out, give them all baseballs. I mean, he was constantly interacting with the fans. So I think he's going to be upset to leave, but I have no doubt he's going to do the exact same thing in Seattle, and Seattle's going to love him over there. He's just an entertainer and a people pleaser. I try to say entertainer and people at the same time. I just did again. I say fair. Boom.
Wow. Yeah, absolutely fair. No, I mean it just seems kind of like a class act. I was reading that apparently that's very much not normal at all.
No,
Which
it's
makes
not.
sense. 'cause
Usually
I've never-
players kind of don't really, and it's so easy to make fans' day, and they kind of just they
No,
focus
yeah,
on their job. They got stuff to worry about. But Randy made it an effort to interact.
Yeah, I got pictures from someone who just happened to be like in his same like 3 seats away and was like freaking out because it's Randy right next. Like, yeah, I mean he seems like a stand-up guy and it seems like a class act. So absolutely fair. It's
Yep.
a double for me. He gets an infield the park home run.
And
Inside the park home run. Sorry,
I was about to-
it's late.
Holy shit,
It's
what are we
very
doing
late.
here?
I am past my bedtime.
All right, let's go ahead and look at the future series. Let's look at midweek series here. Anything off the bat that jumps at you? Like this is the midweek series, the midweek game of the midweek match series of the week midweek. I got one right in front of my face. I got two maybe.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let's go going back to Cali, the Dodgers and the Padres.
Padres.
Good rivalry series. If the Dodgers get swept by the Padres, and we've talked about the Padres have kind of had their number, not a large sample size, but the Padres have won more games against the Dodgers. If they continue that and sweep them at home, they're 3.5 back of first place in the West. So big series for the Padres. Going to be tough to sweep them. Going to be tough to win a series. Another one, Phillies and Yankees.
Yankees, yep. Yankees Phillies is another one.
That's
going to
be at Philadelphia, and that's getting started right now. Josh Chisholm already hit a home run. Let me check the score on that one. We got Yankees winning that game 14-4. So statement win right there.
And they needed it. And you know, it's with, like you said, it's with Jazz, his first game, I think, right, with the Yankees.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Definitely making a statement. Could be what they need. So I guess we'll just have to stay tuned.
And I guess
moving into the weekend.
Yep, let's go to the weekend. Here, anything jump out at you that like, oh yeah, let's go. I love this one.
Let's see.
I think Cardinals
Cubs will be interesting. Yeah. Phillies Mariners might not be uninteresting. These are two teams that the Phillies will definitely make the playoffs, but the Mariners could too. So, you know,
the Cubs confused me. They traded Christopher Morel away and got Isaac Paredes, but Paredes has some years of club control, so maybe that's just like a play for the future there. I would rather have Paredes than Morel. I think Paredes is a little bit more consistent compared to Morel. But Morel has more upside. Morel can go crazy sometimes and be like one of the best hitters on the team. So it's just kind of consistency or streaky. I guess Cardinals Cubs is a good one. Other than that, I don't really see nothing crazy. You want to get into our primetime picks?
Yeah.
All right, let's get into primetime
I
picks.
introed the show, which I think that you get to pick your picks first.
Yep. As of right now, I am White Soxing it right now. I am totally sucking it up. I'm not on a 14-game losing streak, but I'm like 1-4 within my last 5, which is not very good. And now we're tied. So we're going into the home stretch. One of us has to finish above 500. We can't both be under 500 at the end of the year. But yeah, we're both 18-20. Let's look at the primetime picks. We got, I'm moving it around. We got Rays and Astros on Saturday. Come on. I'm going to have to go Rays. I mean, the most average team in baseball going up against the Astros. They've traded everybody on their roster, and they're in Houston. They're going to find a way to do it because that's what they do. You think they suck, and they're very average. So I'm going to go Rays.
Yeah, I was actually going to go Rays, too.
Oh, wow. My sister does love me. All right, let's go ESPN Sunday night. Cardinals at Cubs in Wrigley Field. God, I'm starting to sound like you. I just said Wrigley Stadium.
It's late, babe. What do you want to do?
And I'm tired. All right, Cardinals Cubs. Go Cubs, go. Go Cubs, go. Hey Chicago, what do you say? The Cubs are gonna win on Sunday. I'm going Chicago. Now, if you can make your pick cooler than me. No, you can't. Yeah, you can't do it as cool as me.
I didn't, but I am going to go Cardinals, yeah.
Okie doke. Well, hard to say okie doke. Well, that's our show for you guys. All right. No taint tickle from me, but that's all I got for you guys. That's all, Lisa. Is that all you got? You going to add a little sauce here or what?
Yeah, I just came out with my video on the most controversial home run in what I believe to be MLB history. So if you're interested in that, go check it out.
And it wasn't a home run, but it was, but it wasn't. Very controversial.
Well, that's what makes it so controversial. Yeah, I'm sure everyone has seen this home run, but you get to relive a moment in time and watch me speed run through a series that was insane. Actually insane. I
wish you would have took your time a little bit though. I feel like you did speed run it.
So yeah, someone else told me that, and I was like, I think I underestimated how interesting those games were actually going to be until I was like midway through them, and I was like, oh my god, this is crazy, and then it was too late. So
either way, the home run that was. Go ahead and check that video out. Other than that,
do you think if that home run doesn't happen.
3 ifs.
If it doesn't happen, do the Orioles win the World Series that year?
Girl, I don't know. That shit happened in like 1994. I was not even born. Or 96. 96.
It like jumpstarts the Yankee dynasty, and the poor Orioles are still waiting. Like, I've got questions. Now I'm sure it's been debated on Reddit a million times, but like now I'm involved.
I will say when we went to the Rays game and played the Orioles, whenever an Orioles fan pissed me off, I actually made my lock screen the picture of that kid catching a ball over the Orioles outfielder, and I would just show them my phone whenever.
Tony Tarasco.
Oh, she's a baseball girly. She knows names.
Yeah, I spent like.
I'm proud of you.
I spent like 12 hours watching him miss that ball.
I'm proud of you.
He should have jumped. Hot take. I don't
know. He did, weirdo. maybe the umpire should have made the right call. Maybe we should have had a home run replay back then. All right.
Well, they made the replay because of that. Anyway, we don't.
Close it out. Take us home.
Watch the video. Thank you guys so much for watching so far. We appreciate you being here. Like, comment, subscribe, do all the things. Leave your most annoying Anthony story.
Be my little baby.
With what's happening right now.
Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different.